Hey, what's up, y'all? First off, all glory go to God. Nothing to me. It's your boy Rivka, which is an acronym and stands for Righteous and Faith to Increase Abundantly. And I would like to welcome you all to another live stream on Sunday evenings. Y'all know how we do at 9 Eastern Standard Time or 9 Central Standard Time, wherever we are. I go live, for you and have a certain topic that we're going to talk about. So right now we just gonna wait for people to get in. I'm waiting for my wife to come in so I can make her a moderator. First off, just making sure there's no like inappropriate comments and stuff like that, because that will get you banned or whatever or put on timeout. We okay with like jokes and stuff like that, because that makes the live more interesting and stuff. But saying perverted stuff and all that that may not necessarily work. But yeah, it's 8:55, so we're gonna welcome people in for about the next 5 minutes. Then I get started with the content. Now I will be looking down at my notes from time to time to make sure that I stay on track with everything, to make sure I get all the content out. I feel like this is a very important subject or whatever. How to avoid getting scammed online and offline, because you want to keep as much money in your pocket as you can, so that's what that is. Let's see who we got in. Need to go ahead and press this highlight button right now so I don't forget, because last time I was on live I forgot to press the highlight button. I think it's this one right here, if I'm not mistaken. Highlight saved to your channel as unlisted video up to last 5 minutes. At least 1 minute of video is needed to start a highlight. Okay, I guess it'll start it wherever it is. I haven't pressed it a minute yet. At least 1 minute video needed to start highlight. So it was the highlight button. All right. My channel is about me. I'm Rifka. I'm a Christian rapper. First of all, that's why I started this channel on. And then I'm also a actor as well. And because I'm a Christian rapper and an actor, thank y'all for joining. I see we got about 5 people in here. Because I'm a Christian rapper and an actor, I try to give people in the entertainment industry ways and tips to keep money in their pocket and make money residually, without having to go to a 9-to-5 job, so that whenever they get any type of booking or anything like that, then they can go do it freely. Because I used to be a teacher. When I was a teacher, I would get bookings and stuff, but I'd have to ask the principals, the assistant principal and the head principal, how I could get in, how I could be off, or if I could be off and all that kind of stuff. I had to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. So Cam Rob, thank you for joining. He said, do you play Rust? I don't know what Rust is, Cam Rob. Can you tell me what Rust is? So we're gonna let people join in for about 2 more minutes, then we're gonna get started with the content. Because I tell people how to make money through flexible jobs, but also a real important way to make money is to keep the money in your pocket that you have in your pocket. And there's a lot of scammers out there that's trying to get your money. A lot of them in various ways, no matter what industry you in, or if you're in the industry at all. If you're just a regular person walking down the street, it's scammers, or online, it's scammers that's trying to take your money and get your money and all that. And I want to tell y'all, share with y'all some of the scams I've come across in my life, scams I've fallen victim to, scams I've heard about. Most of them be talking about the ones I came across. Russ, okay, thank you for joining. My wife's gonna be a moderator, as I said. I think you might already be one, because there's a wrench by your name. Let me see. So I think that means you're a moderator, but let me check for sure. No, you're a manager moderator, so I don't think I have to redo it. It says remove as manager moderator. Okay, now I'm gonna leave you as manager. So I think you're good because you got wrench by your name. Konnichiwa, brother. What's up? What's up? Thank you for joining. What language is that? Thai? Is that language Thai that's on there? So the way I do it is I go through all of the content, And then after I'm done with the content, y'all can comment and all that while I'm on here. When I'm done with all of the content, I will read through everybody's questions, everybody's comments and concerns before we get off, so I can talk about it and address you directly if you're still on here. Even if you're not still on here, I'm gonna still read your comment and all that out loud if it was an appropriate one. Let's see here. So yeah, it's 9 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Because I know you want to learn how to avoid various scams. And I want y'all to share scams that you've come across too, because they're going to help people avoid them, because they got all these scammers out here. You know what I'm saying? So we need to avoid those and keep our money in our pockets. You know, I've lost some of the scammers before, and I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. And that's what motivated me to make this video, because probably about 3 weeks ago, I was scammed the most recent time. I don't get scammed all the time, but about 3 weeks ago, I was scammed the most recent time. I'm going to tell y'all about that. So, how to avoid scams online and offline. I think I titled it something a little bit different. But the different scams I've encountered, we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about those first. And please don't think I'm ignoring you if you comment or anything. Like I said, I'm going to read all of the comments when we get down to the end of the video, when I get done with the content. We got a lot to talk about, though. We got a lot to talk about. So, the different types of scams I've encountered that we're going to talk about today: YouTube scams and other social media scams. Twitter tried to scam me, but they didn't get me. YouTube, there was a YouTube, not YouTube the platform, but there are scammers on YouTube, as y'all know. So I got with something like that before, but I didn't end up losing any money because I did something to kind of avoid that. TikTok is the one I most recently lost some money on, a TikTok scam. Email scams, as y'all know, there's a lot of email scams that come through your email. Text scams, them come in almost every day for some reason. Music industry scams, we're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about acting scams in the acting industry. Like I said, I'm an actor. I want to go ahead and tell y'all how you can avoid those. Modeling scams in the modeling industry. And eBay scams, because one of the ways that I make flexible income is I'm a reseller on eBay. Some of y'all may have seen some of my videos, and I started doing that because I knew I was going into trying to act and do my music full time and needed flexible gigs. That's a good flexible gig I use. But I'm telling y'all about some of those eBay scams today too. The scams I've fallen victim to are scams you know about. I want y'all to place those in the comments so we can go over those and share those so that other people won't fall victim to those scams when they come across them. Because the more we shed light, the more we help each other, the better it is for everybody to keep their money in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? So, scams, I've lost about $300 to scams in my life. And it don't feel good. I fell for some. The most recent scam was a scam on TikTok. It was a guy posing as a Hot 97 DJ on TikTok. He hit me up, said I had potential. He wanted to play my music. I asked him. I'm always kind of skeptical about stuff like that, even though I know my music is good. I asked him what song he heard of mine. He said Gospel Step, which that was kind of a red flag because that was a while ago. That's one of my oldest songs. I got a lot of newer songs now that could be played, you know, besides Gospel Step. But Hot 97 is a secular station that play regular music, first of all. But sometimes those type of stations do play Christian rap. So I was like, I wanted to hear him out. So I ended up going through with it. They had like different tiers that they wanted you to purchase. Either 2 songs for $100 and an interview, or like, you know, all the way up to $1,000 for some. It was the amount of time that they played the music or something like that. Yeah, so the $1,000 was the highest. I was like, okay, I'll try this 2 songs for $200 and do the interview, see if it's real or not. You know, no harm, no foul. $100, that ain't much. You know what I'm saying? You know, that ain't too bad. It ain't gonna hurt you too bad if you lose $100. So I was like, let me try it. So I did that, but the guy wanted me to use Apple Pay. I had never used Apple Pay. I wasn't very familiar with Apple Pay at the time. So I didn't want to use that. I asked him if I could use Venmo or Zelle or something like that. So he gave me his Venmo, and his name was totally different than the DJ name, of course. But I was like, well, we all use stage names and stuff like that, so I didn't really think nothing of it. But I tried to put it in to send it through Venmo. Venmo told me this looks like a scam account or something like that, or a scam type deal that you send it to, because they want to know who you send it to and why or whatever. I should have listened, but I didn't. I was like, Venmo not working. And he said, well, it's just saying that. Whatever excuse he used, I don't really remember. Then he said, I said, I figure out. It was another one. I asked him if he used Cash App. I don't think he used Cash App. I think on Cash App, you can kind of get your money back on there too, if I'm not mistaken. I know on PayPal, you can as well. But I ended up using, I ended up figuring out how to use Apple Pay, and I sent the $100, and you realized on Apple Pay, you cannot, there's no way you can get your money back through Apple Pay when you use certain things. So the way I really knew it was a scam was because I sent it. He said my music was approved to be played on Hot 97 on the Christian rap show or whatever that they have. There are certain stations, secular stations, that have a Christian rap show even when they play secular hip hop and stuff like that, which is the regular hip hop that you hear, not the Christian hip hop. So I've seen that before, so I wasn't really tripping over it. But he sent me something shortly thereafter saying that his program director had said that my music wasn't up to par, so it needed to be mixed or mastered by their engineers, and that was going to cost an extra $60. So that's really when the red flags came up with me. And I ended up, well, I say, well, let me send you the WAV files because they'll probably be better because I sent them from my files on my phone. He didn't want to hear that. He didn't want that. And he also sent like some type of bootleg screenshot of that he had supposedly sent to the program manager, talking about my music, showing me that my music was approved. But my name wasn't on it. You know what I'm saying? It was just some general thing that they probably put for everybody. My name was not on that, so that was a red flag. And then he said, but shortly after he sent that, he said he showed a screenshot or whatever with the text where the program director said that it needed to be mixed or something to be on the radio or whatever. And then he said, all right, manager, or something crazy like this. I knew this. I'm like, this cat not for real. I see what this is. So he told me it was gonna cost $60 per song, or maybe $60, $30 per song to get the music mixed so it'd be on the radio. I was like, man, I'm not sending you no more money. I can send you the WAV file and you can see, and this was all through text. I didn't talk to him on the phone. I'll send you the WAV file and you can see if the WAV file is better, because I know the WAV file is gonna be a better quality of sound, but he didn't want to do that. And then he started sending me like, oh, before that, to kind of get me into and reel me in, before the program director stuff, he had sent me something showing my lineup of music and all, and he had said that he only plays Christian rap on his show or whatever, and he showed the different artists in the time slot I had. Well, first of all, the time slots was like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. or something like that, and the names of the artists were not Christian artist names. I know from being a Christian rapper that when they play gospel on the secular stations and stuff like that, or Christian rap on secular stations, usually in the morning. Now, some of them do have a nighttime show, but it's not every day. It might be on Sunday nights, or it might be in the morning and stuff like that. So it just didn't line up. And then the names, I know one name was like King Slime and King, I don't know. It was some secular names that I know Christian rappers wouldn't use. So at that point, I knew, okay, this ain't right. Then he flipped it and came at me with the gotta get my music mastered and all, let's be on. And I was like, okay, this ain't it. I'm not sending nothing else. I kind of played along, but then I ended up sending a message saying, I know you scamming or whatever. If you're not scamming, prove it to me. Send me my money back. I let them know what my Cash App was and all that kind of stuff where they could send it. They didn't send nothing back. They didn't say nothing else, so they knew they was caught. So that's a scam you need to look out for. I don't remember the DJ name on Hot 97. Scam. I don't really think it was the real DJ anyway, because I went back and I looked at their TikTok. They hadn't put any content up probably since 2024, last year, maybe middle of last year. So they just put up a few things. It wasn't even full of content on TikTok. So that's something to look out for. If they don't have a lot of content on their page, they probably copy and put it on there from somebody else that's reputable, and that type of thing. So, and he had like stuff that would make you think that they was real, like philanthropy type guests that he had on the show or whatever, that make you think they was real, but they wouldn't. So I was scammed like that. Most recently, that was $100 I was out of. Most recently, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Let's see, what else? What else I got here? How else was I scammed? Oh, the other one, a few years before that in Vegas. I did not. One thing you want to look out for is people that try to come on Instagram or something like that and message you about their services or whatever. Like, somebody had hit me up that does cartoon artwork because they knew I was an artist. And then they asked me if I wanted a cartoon music video made, and I was kind of interested in that. I didn't contact them. So if you don't contact them, be wary of it. You might not even want to fool with them. I'm gonna tell you some ways you can kind of get around that later. If y'all got like common friends or something like that, then you could ask people about them if they use them. But if nobody ever used them, don't use them. But anyway, this was probably like 2018, 2019 in Vegas, and I fell for it. First red flag should have been they asked me to pay for the cartoon music video with PayPal family and friends so they wouldn't take the fees out. That's what a lot of people try to do. So I thought, okay, they just doing so it won't take the fees out. Should have got them on the phone, but I didn't get them on the phone. That's a good thing to do too. Get these people on the phone when they're trying to get you to do work with them and stuff like that. Then you can really tell. Don't do it through messages and text. It might not even be real people, especially with all this AI. But anyway, I did that. I fell for it. I sent the $200 for the music video through family and friends. And when you do it through family and friends, you can't get your money back through PayPal. But with PayPal, when you do it as a business to business, they'll give you your money back. So they got me right there. I couldn't do nothing about it. But they was communicating. I sent them my specs and all that kind of stuff, which is the stuff I wanted to see in the music video and all that. But then they stopped with the communication. The communication got slower and slower. And finally, they just ghosted me and stopped replying at all. I was like, okay. And it was taking longer than it was supposed to take for the music video to be done. So I was like, okay, they done got me. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all getting something from this, knowing how to avoid these scams and stuff online. So I ended up contacting PayPal. Of course, they said they couldn't do nothing because I had sent it through family and friends. I was like, dang. But then I looked into it and saw like where you could contact the FBI, online fraud or something like that department. I contacted them as well, but didn't nothing come of that. This was in 2019 or 18. I still ain't got my money back and they didn't follow up with me. So I was just out $200. So those are two stories of how I lost $300 to scammers online. Two stories. Let me make sure I didn't leave nothing out. Nah, I didn't. Oh, the next one I want to talk about. I kind of fell for this scam, but I didn't lose any money. On YouTube, you know, they have a lot of commercials and ads that come through, and I don't think they're able to monitor all of them to see if they're real, legitimate ads that's gonna give you goods and services or not. So this particular one was about I'm not sure, it was something where you had to put your cash app in. I think it was a survey, and it was some good money to do a survey or something like that. So I put my cash app in there, and this had to be 2018 or so, somewhere around there. And I did the survey. I kept checking, never got my money for the survey. So I like, oh man, I think they done got me. So I just stopped using Cash App for years. I wouldn't even use my Cash App. So this was about 2018, 2019. I didn't use my Cash App again until 2023. And at that point, I had about 3 different phones. I opened it up on another phone line to test it out first to see if they would steal my money or whatever. It was so long, they had probably got caught for the scam that they was pulling. So I would say whenever those video ads come up and stuff like that on YouTube, try not to scan that stuff and use that stuff and fall for it, especially if they want you to put your information in for Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, whatever, because it's probably some fishy stuff and they're not going to send you no money. So don't fall for it. Unless it's like a reputable company. I wouldn't even do that. Even if it's a reputable company, if you notice on TV when they play ads and stuff like that, they don't all, sometimes they may have some, but they don't always have all these QR codes and stuff to put in stuff and buy from there. The ad is just drawing you in to go get the product directly from them on their online store or something like that. I would suggest to do it like that, but not get the product directly from the YouTube ad, because you never know who trying to get you or trying to scam you like that. So don't fall for it. Luckily with that one, I didn't lose any money and I'm able to use my Cash App now. But that's one where they almost got me, but I was smart enough to stop using Cash App for years until I knew that I was in the clear with that, which was kind of inconvenient because everybody and their mama wanted to use Cash App. But yeah, didn't use my Cash App for years till, yep. So that's that. Let's moving on. All right, an acting scam that almost got me, because of course y'all know I'm an actor. Probably been trying to act regularly since about 2017 when I got back into it before I moved to Vegas. I'm on a site called Backstage, and they have casting calls on there. But the good thing about Backstage is it's a very reputable casting site. So for some reason, this guy had put a casting call up there talking about, it was for a cosplay commercial. I did the commercial. I sent myself tape in, all that good stuff. I think he wanted to book me or act like he wanted to book me or whatever. Then he asked for a full body slate. Full body slates happen sometimes, but not all the time. But then shortly thereafter, Backstage sent me a message letting me know to stop all communication with this particular casting call and stuff like that, because they were fraudulent. They were running a scam and stuff like that. I didn't want to believe, because I was new. I was fresh in the game for acting, and I thought I had got me a commercial. I thought I was going to finally have me a commercial. And I like comic books and all that kind of stuff too. That's what cosplay is, when you dress up like various characters and all that kind of stuff. So I was into it. I didn't want to believe it, but I did some research on the person. Now, I might also had my wife do some research too, who was my girlfriend at the time. And we ended up finding out this particular person. I was trying to book stuff in Georgia before I moved to Georgia, because I knew I was going to be moving to Georgia about a year, well, not a year later, a few months later in the summer. So I was trying to have stuff set up for myself when I get here. And it ended up being that this person was wanted by the Cobb County Police Department for some perverted things, that they were doing to men and to women. They had various reports filed against them about things and all that. So he was just nasty, probably. And I don't even want to say the type of stuff that he was accused of, probably some Diddy type stuff. I'm going to just leave it right there. Some Diddy type stuff, basically. So I dodged the bullet there, but Backstage flagged it and let me know beforehand, and they figured out that person was not right. So that's the type of stuff you can run into with acting and casting calls. You just never know who's right. But usually when you get casting calls through reputable sites and stuff like that, like I'm gonna name some later, but like your Central Castings or your Actors Accesses or your Backstages, they're gonna figure all that stuff out and then ban those people before it can get as far as you being a victim to those casting directors or people posing as casting directors that are gonna try to harm you or do some perverted stuff to you. Okay, so we're gonna get more into that later. But yeah, modeling, there's scams in modeling too. Because I do lifestyle modeling, from time to time for various products and stuff like that. Like where I look like the man in the house, the father or the dad. Like I did one for Amdro, which is a it's on my channel. Amdro is an insect killer, very popular company. And I've done lifestyle modeling type things for various things before. I can't remember, Six Flags, different stuff like that. So, I don't do like the fitness modeling or the high fashion or nothing like that, but the lifestyle modeling is really big, where you might see a cat that's don't even look like a model, a big cat that weigh more than me, and he doing some type of product or whatever, Hungry Man dinners or something like that, and he's modeling. So you don't have to necessarily look like a model to be a model. All those times that I have looked like a model or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, modeling scams they can use on you. And this happened before I left Houston, matter of fact. They try to get you to like cash a check sometimes they'll send you something in email or something like that, like they some major company, and then they'll try to get you to cash a check. I don't know if it's a fraudulent check or what, but this may get you arrested for trying to cash. And now back then, before I left Houston, I didn't know. You know, I thought I was gonna get this modeling gig or whatever and cash the check and then pay everybody for it and all that, and I was happy. I went up to a place, it might have been like a cashier's check or something. I don't know what type of place it was I went up to. I tried to cash it, and they told me we can't cash this. This not a real check or whatever. Then I knew, okay, this was fraud. And I don't really know how they get the money or how they able to scam you with that. Or maybe if you try to cash it, they can get your bank account information with that. I don't know. But look out for that kind of stuff when people saying that they are a modeling agency or a modeling casting agent or something like that, and they want you to cash a check and you to pay out the photographer and pay the venue where you do the shoot and the wardrobe and all that. That's not real. That's not real. You know, so let's talk about, so those are the scams I've come across personally. But let's talk about those scams that we know about, that we've seen, that we haven't fallen victim to. I haven't fallen victim to, that we know about. YouTube scams. Talk about those first. We kind of talk about them a little bit. I'm going to get into them a little bit more. We always see those videos. Maybe last year, 2 years ago, you would see Steve Harvey talking about some type of stipend that the government was giving and all that kind of stuff. And I believe it was an AI voice, because the voice didn't even match up with what you saw in the video and the different clips they was using. They do it with different celebrities and stuff like that, probably depending on the type of content that you watch. Don't fall for that. That stuff not real. You ain't gonna get something for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So don't fall for it. I never clicked it or nothing like that, because I know you ain't gonna get something for nothing. The ones about the lower car insurance. We was looking for lower car insurance, and my wife looked into it a little bit. Those ads be coming up on YouTube and stuff, and that's not real either. Ain't no way your insurance gonna be $100 or $150 full coverage. Maybe just for liability, but ain't no way it's gonna be that cheap or under $100 a month. That stuff not real. These are people being predatory when they put that stuff up. Like, we realized that wasn't real. Go with a reputable company that you know about and shop around and stay out of accidents and stuff like that. And then the car insurance will be lower, but it ain't gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be under $100 though. That's just crazy. They just trying to get you to click on something so they can take your information. They all had them QR codes and stuff like that. And I believe when you click them QR codes, just like when you click on a Facebook link or an Instagram link or something like that you don't recognize, they able to hack your phone and stuff. So be very careful with that kind of stuff people be putting up on YouTube. Let's see here. If it sounds too good to be true, that is real. This is the rule of thumb for all of it. If it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. That's what I've seen with all of the ones I fell victim to. You know what I'm saying? Hot 97 is a major station in New York. I could probably get on there whatever one day, but I ain't done what I need to do to get on there yet. You know, that was and to be played during prime time. That's when I knew it wasn't legitimate. But anyway, you're not gonna get something for nothing, a whole bunch of money or something like that for not doing much of nothing. It's just not real. Crypto scams. They got a lot of crypto scams on YouTube as well. If you're into crypto, be very careful. Every time you be watching them crypto videos and all that kind of stuff, they got bots in there in the comments and all that. They might get you. You say they'll do an airdrop and give you a whole bunch of money in your wallet and stuff like that. An airdrop for various ones, various cryptocurrencies. One specifically I know about, when the XRP case was about to be done, or when it was done and they were about to win the case, they had this video they are circulating with Brad Garlinghouse, the owner or CEO of Ripple or whatever, saying that they were going to do this big airdrop of XRP, of maybe $10,000 worth of XRP or something like that. That wasn't real. They wanted you to, leave your wallet address and all that. If you leave your wallet address on that crypto stuff, they're going to take all your crypto, and it's going to be a sad day. So don't fall for that. That's something for nothing, man. That just do your due diligence, trade, look around, you know what I'm saying? Do your studying, read your white papers, all that, and invest on your own, but don't fall for that airdrop stuff. Now, you do get airdrops, but don't fall for nobody wanting you to send them your crypto wallet address for various coins. because airdrops automatically come when you buy certain things on certain exchanges. They just automatically drop that kind of stuff. You don't have to give them your wallet address because the exchange already has it, and they gonna give it to you anyway. You know, I look in certain wallets from time to time because I have certain coins, and they'll been just gave me certain things. So you don't have to give your wallet address up to get certain, especially if somebody you don't know. Now, if it's somebody you know personally, you know, you trust them, okay, use your judgment there. But if you don't know these people, don't send them your crypto wallet address, please, because they're going to take all your crypto, and then it always says ain't no way you can get it back. When you sending crypto from one exchange to a wallet or from a wallet to the exchange and all that kind of stuff, they tell you ain't going to be able to get it back. So please don't fall for that. What else? What else? Email scams. There's various email scams that's online. Emails asking you to be an influencer for their product or service from known and unknown companies. Yeah, I get those all the time. They say they saw me on Instagram and they want me to be an influencer. And I run them by my wife. She do her research and she realized it's a scam. And now I don't even fall for it. I realize it's a scam too. Now, Instagram actually has something they'll send you where people can contact you through them in this tab. Not like the regular messages I was talking about earlier where dudes scam me with the cartoon music video. But they have like a influencer program you can sign up for where companies can look at a pool of people and decide who would represent their brand well. So go by that. Don't go by them sending you an email. A lot of them scam emails go to your spam, but a lot of them do make it through. So recently, I had one contact me about a will and trust. They wanted to do a will and trust for me for free, supposedly, in exchange for 2 reels and 1 post or something like that. And they kept, I was ignoring them at first, and they kept contacting me. Finally, I had to tell them I wasn't interested in doing it. First of all, I didn't feel like it really fit with my brand or whatever as Riffica, although it fits with everybody's brand. But also with a will and a trust, you're going to have to get them all kind of personal information that they could take and do whatever they want to, siphon your funds, have your social security number, you know, act like they somebody's open credit cards in your name and all that kind of stuff. So you don't want to do that kind of stuff. That was definitely a red flag of them trying to do a free will and trust and know all your personal information and your personal business. When you want to get a will and all this stuff set up, hire your own lawyer that you contact directly yourself that you trust, and they'll set it up for you. I'm not a pro on that or whatever, but I know that's what my dad had to do when he set up his will and all that. So I just want to get that information. Don't fall for it. If they contacting you first, it's likely a scam. Don't fall for it. We only need to be working with people that we contact first and that we seek out, that we get a referral from somebody else that we know that have used them before, in order to not get scammed by these scammers online. Man, I'm real passionate about this. Most recent example I said that would have had very personal information. All right, next one. Text and phone scams and WhatsApp scams. I think a lot of those text and phone scams come from WhatsApp. You having a WhatsApp account, having information on WhatsApp. Because I noticed once I got on WhatsApp, I started getting more of those type of text scams and stuff like that. Like, it's one where they keep sending this thing about a toll that's never been paid or something. That's a scam that's circulating. You got this toll, and if you don't pay this toll, you're going to lose your license, and you're going to, have charges pressed against you and all this kind of stuff. So click this link to pay the toll. Please don't fall for that. Don't fall for that, because that's not real. It's been going on for a year for me. And anytime, we don't even go through tolls in Georgia, first of all. And the only tolls I go through is when I'm out of town with rental cars. And the rental car company, which I use Alamo, make me an influencer for you, know what I'm saying? I always use y'all since I said y'all name in my live. But anyway, contact me. But anyway, they send it directly through them. Matter of fact, they already got your credit card information. So they're going to take it out of your credit card automatically anyway when you go through the toll. So you don't even got to worry about that. So don't fall for that DMV toll wherever, you know, whether you in Texas, whether you in Georgia, or wherever you at where they trying to send that. That's a text they always be sending. Well, what else? These come through the rental car provider. Oh, remote jobs. I keep getting these texts about remote jobs. They be sending me some. I saw your resume online and $5,000 a week, crazy stuff like that. Don't fall for that. I don't even contact them back. All right, a lot of times I just block them directly right away when they send that mess because I didn't seek you out for no job, so I'm not contacting you about no job. And a lot of that money sound too good to be true. They try to keep it where it's like, you know, regular, but remote sounds like something for nothing, and that's what we got to be on the lookout for. Whenever it's something for nothing, it's nothing. They trying to scam you. They trying to get your money. You know what I'm saying? So don't fall for it. Trying to get your information. And of course, you know, when you apply for a job, you have to give them all that W-2 information and all that kind of stuff. And that's probably how they posing to get your information from you so they can steal it and use it for various illegal, fraudulent activities that they may have going on. So don't fall for that. What else? What else we got here? Remote jobs, calling. Oh, okay. Now, first of all, I want to get this disclaimer. I pay my taxes. You know what I'm saying? I pay them every year. But they got like this thing that calls all the time on my business line that tries to say that we're contacting you because we see you have back taxes. I know how to pay my taxes. The kind of say your back taxes, if you did not pay them, you would get funds siphoned by the IRS and all this kind of. They try to scare you, and it sounds like AI. And it happens all the time. So don't fall for that when they contact you about that stuff. Because, of course, when you're dealing with taxes and all that, you have to give a lot of information and stuff. If you need somebody to help you with your tax stuff and all that kind of stuff, get your own licensed CPA and all that and use them directly, and they will help you with your taxes. You don't have to seek out, or somebody that's seeking you out to get your information to help you get caught up on your taxes and all that. That's definitely a scam. So please don't fall for it. And it sounds like an AI voice anyway. So they always contacting my business line with that mess. So we not doing that. So look out for that, so you don't fall for that. Are there any other text WhatsApp scams? They got the WhatsApp crypto scams that's in WhatsApp directly. I see all the time. They add you to these various groups or Telegram and all that kind of stuff. Telegram is similar to WhatsApp. And then if you fall for it and put in these pools and all that kind of stuff, then they're going to get you and get stuff from your wallet and all that, your crypto wallet and stuff. So don't fall for that kind of stuff. Credit card, debit card numbers. Freely give your personal information. Oh, they want you, when they contact you with that kind of stuff, they want you to freely give your personal information so that they can get your debit card numbers, your social security numbers, your credit card numbers, and all that kind of stuff. That's why they be calling, saying all this kind of stuff, acting like they know about your situation, but they really don't. They probably just looked up something or looked up some information on WhatsApp, looked up your number and your name, and then they call you acting like they want to help you, but they really don't. They really just want to help themselves. Music industry scams. I'm a Christian rapper, as I said, been doing it professionally since 2002. So I've been doing it 22 years now. The music industry scams that I've come across, I say the best way to avoid these music industry scams, like I said earlier, is to get references before you use somebody's studio. Get references before you use somebody to do your music video. Get references before you use somebody to do your artwork, because you know you got to have graphic art when you're an artist and stuff. Get references before you use somebody for a photographer, because they can say they want a deposit and then it don't go no further than the deposit. It come time to show up for whatever service or whatever y'all gonna do, because they always gonna want a deposit, it seems, when they doing your music videos, your mixing and mastering, the studio engineers, the photographers, the videographers, all of that. And then you give them a deposit, and when it's time to come work, they know where to be found. That hasn't happened to me except for with the cartoon music video, but it does happen. So I would say just make sure, if you're an artist, you probably know other artists who use various services, get information from them and use the people they use, or make sure that they have common friends and stuff like that. But I really don't even like using the people off social media. Everybody got social media, but I'd rather ask other Christian rappers and stuff who they've used, and that's how I get a lot of my engineers and stuff like that. Or I get them on the phone. I mean, it's a company now that I work with who I know they're a blessing from God. They're legitimate. They had contacted me because they saw one of my videos I put of me rapping with my son or whatever. And we had some common friends and stuff like that. And we got on the phone, and my spirit felt right about them. And we've done some videos together for as them editing my music videos that I do. I'm gonna do more work with them, but they're definitely reputable. So it just all depends. You just gotta use discernment with that. But if you have common Christian rap friends that's friends with them online and stuff like that, and you get them on the phone, then that real. Most of the time, when I've been scammed with the music industry, I didn't get the people on the phone. That was the biggest issue. You gotta get them on the phone and check their heart, check their spirit, all that kind of stuff, know if they trying to scam or not. I noticed on Twitter, when I didn't get the cartoon music video done, I noticed that on Twitter, I was trying to find somebody to do the cartoon music video on Twitter after that, like a few years back. And I noticed that some people were using the same music video to promote their skills or their artistry that other people was using. So, okay, this is a scam. So after I saw that, I got close to using somebody, because I had my wife kind of vetting them too. But then I ended up like, nah, I can't do this. I done been scammed with this cartoon music video stuff before. And at that point, I wanted to do the summertime music video, which y'all have seen. That's on my channel. Look for it. It's a good music video, and it's still summertime, so you may enjoy it. Summertime by Rifika. But anyway, it's just a little plug. But I ended up using one of her friends that she knew who did animation for Daystar, I believe, and various things like that. And everything went fine with that because that was somebody that my wife knew. You know, that's why we got to use people that we know, or people that know somebody that we know that can give a good referral for them, and then you won't get scammed. So that's that. Make sure people you know have worked with them before. I'd already said that. We're moving right along, moving right along, moving right along. Content. Acting and modeling scams. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. I'm gonna get to all y'all comments. I see the comments coming up. Give some likes, click the like button, you know what I'm saying? Share it to some people that you know need to hear this information. A lot of elderly people need this information about scams too, because the elderly people get scammed all the time because they don't really know what to look out for. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it just in the last few years. These people try to prey on our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our dads, our moms, and things like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Send information out to help them as well. Acting and modeling scams. For those of you who want to be an actor or want to be a model or anything like that, this is for you, once again. Avoid these by only applying to casting calls from reputable casting sites that you sign up for. That's how you can avoid the scams with those. These casting sites will monitor and flag casting calls for fraudulent behavior and scams, which I kind of talked about earlier with the gentleman out here who was wanted by the Cobb County Police Department in Georgia. I kind of told y'all about that already. Backstage is a very reputable one that's been around for eons that I trust, and I've gotten a lot of work through them. I get one job. You know, yeah, I get more than one through them a year, but one job will pay for the full year subscription and then some that you get. So it's worth it. You do got to pay for these casting sites. Some of them, not all of them, some of them, like Actors Access and Backstage. That's another good one that's national. It's going to give you reputable casting sites for television and film and modeling and various things like that, and print. You're going to have to pay for those like that, but they are worth it because they vetted these people, these casting directors who are putting up information to try to get you to work with them and work for them, or trying to scam you. They're not going to let them through. So also utilize word of mouth references just like with music. You can do that too. They have a group. They got one called Casting on Facebook that I'm a part of, Atlanta Casting Calls. They got one called, I forget what the other one's called, but they put a lot of the same type of casting calls in them though. And they give a lot of good casting calls from various casting agencies, where there's background off of lead roles and supporting roles and stuff like that that you can apply for. That most of them always be reputable, but one did slip through the cracks recently, so you still gotta do your due diligence. It was one because one guy that runs one, he knows that I run 5Ks and 10Ks and stuff like that, so he sent me the information about one. Then it ended up being this site that wasn't reputable, where they were trying to give like, you know, these like false promises that were bigger than what what most people at the level I'm at are ready for or whatever. So I knew it was fraud, and I think it kind of sent me to a website, and then they wanted you to pay something for the casting call to get further in it with the running gig I was trying to get or whatever. So I ended up knowing it was fraud then, because you should never have to pay to audition. You should never have to pay for an acting gig. Now, you will have to pay for the casting sites and stuff like that. You will have to pay for acting classes. You will have to pay for your headshots and photography and stuff like that. But you won't have to pay for auditions. You will have to pay for workshops with casting directors, because that's a form of a elevated acting class when you go to these workshops with casting directors that are known, like a Leah Daniels or, somebody like that, or a Lee Daniels or somebody like that. Those type of people. Those are two that came to my mind. I did one with Leah Daniels when I was in Vegas. That was probably my first acting workshop. Matter of fact, she the one that casted for Empire and a lot of other things. That's Lee Daniels' sister. But anyway, yeah, you will have to pay for that kind of stuff, but you won't have to pay to audition. You won't have to pay to audition. All right? So don't never do that. Central Casting is another one, another reputable, and you don't have to pay for that one. That gets you a lot of major background gigs, but you're in major television and film when you work with Central Casting. That's a good one to sign up for. They stuff gonna be real. Source and Cast, that's a new one that's popped up in the last few years, which is a national one, and that one's reputable as well. Some local ones that's local to Atlanta. I'm gonna give y'all something that's local to Atlanta, and I'm gonna give y'all something that's local to Las Vegas. Well, I know one that's local to Las Vegas that I was booking stuff through. But the ones that's local to Atlanta, Hilton Casting. I think that's free to sign up for. Destination Casting. These are casting companies who book things, and you can trust that it's gonna be for real. Source and Cast, Cab Casting. I don't like to use them because they stuff be chilling circuit type stuff, which means they don't pay much. The gigs they get be like $100 for all day, being on set all day, which I'm not doing nothing for $100 or under $100. That's not gonna work for me. $80, $88 and stuff like that. That's not gonna work. And Bill Marinella Casting. They have a whole lot more. There's a whole lot more that you can sign up for in the Atlanta area where they put reputable casting calls for television and film and background. But those are just some of the main ones that I've worked with before. You also could go through a Vegas one, a good Vegas one I used to get my stuff through when I was really getting my feet wet with the acting and stuff was Goldman and Associates. That's a real good company that you can use that is going to be reputable in the Las Vegas area, if you're in the Las Vegas area, that when they send casting, and they pay well too, the stuff they get be paying well. I still get the casting call sometimes. They send me somebody, I think they just had the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, put in the comments if y'all remember if the Super Bowl was in Vegas this past year. They was filming a Super Bowl commercial. They sent me a casting about it, but since I'm in Atlanta now, they say they check IDs and stuff. I would have flew up there to do that one. But they check IDs. They only wanted Las Vegas locals, and they check IDs. So it is what it is on that. I couldn't do it, but that one's reputable if you're out there. Okay, moving right along. You should not be paying for auditions or roles. I already talked about that. That's a scam. You do pay for acting classes, headshots, workshops with casting directors, which is a form of acting class. We went over that already. Modeling scams. They will contact you with a major company opportunity. Recently, the most recent one I remember, somebody contacted me talking about they was from a CEO, a high-ranking official or something for Under Armour, and they wanted me to represent Under Armour for their company or whatever. I knew it wasn't real. I knew it wasn't real. Cause they can make it look official and put like the I forget what it's called, not the heading. They got a thing with the picture and then the person's credentials and stuff like that at the bottom and all that. They look all professional. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They make it look real good, but it's not real because guess what? When we talking about these major companies like Under Armour, Nike, Kraft, macaroni and cheese, M&M's, I'm just throwing stuff out there, Hanes, all that. They're gonna go through a casting agency to book talent. They are not gonna go directly to your email. They never will. So don't fall for it. I know it feels good, and you're like, oh, but if you're not at that level, if you don't have a casting agent that you're going through and all that, agency and stuff, you're not gonna get those type of gigs. I'm just letting you know now, though, that's fake. They trying to get you somehow. I don't know how, because I ain't fell for it, but they trying to get you. They trying to get you. They trying to hack you. They trying to do something. So look out for those modeling scams. They'll try another one. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. I said that major companies usually go through talent agencies. Modeling scams may also ask you, like I said earlier, to do it remote. They say they're gonna send you a check. And they're going to tell you a certain studio to go to on a certain day. You're going to pay the photographer. You're going to buy your wardrobe, all that kind of stuff from the check they give you. First of all, that don't seem safe. I don't know what they're going to try to do to you when you get there. You know, you don't know these people from Adam. So I wouldn't fall for that. And then the check probably not going to work. And they're probably trying to get your banking information somehow if you try to cash it at your bank or something like that. So don't fall for it. I don't know. I wasn't able to cash a check when they tried to give me like that before I left Houston. So I don't know what they really trying to do with that there. Okay, last but not least, then I'm gonna get to y'all comments. eBay scams. eBay, like I said, is a great way to make flexible income if you are an actor, rapper, singer, dancer, trying to do that full time. It's a great way to sell items online and make passive income from work that you did a while ago, and then that money keep coming in, but you got to keep on putting stuff in there. But anyway, eBay scams. When you first get on eBay and have zero feedback, they always have people that contact you trying to get you to sell them an item offline. Don't fall for that. That's against eBay's policies. First of all, you have to do all transactions directly on the eBay platform. They be trying to get out of paying a certain amount for shipping and all this kind of stuff, which ain't gonna help you anyway, because eBay gives us shipping discounts. We pay way less for the shipping label through eBay than we gonna pay, buying the shipping label directly from the post office or directly from UPS or directly from FedEx and then shipping it to them. So you're going to lose out anyway. So when I've had new accounts on eBay, they always try to get you with that kind of stuff. Once you got a lot of feedback, like 1,000 or 500 feedback, 10 feedback, they're not going to try to get you to do that anymore because they know that you know what you're talking about. But they always try to feast and prey on new eBay sellers or people with new accounts and zero feedback. And they can tell by how much feedback you have, because feedback, every time somebody leave you feedback, that adds to your feedback score with eBay. And the longer you've been on there, the more feedback you have. Another eBay scam. Oh, okay. Maybe some of y'all might know Chris Lynn, who used to be on eBay, but they kicked him off and stuff like that. He got that channel called Daily Refinement or whatever, Asian guy in Oakland or whatever. I used to watch his videos a lot and stuff like that before tech separated from him, when all that other stuff came out about him. I ain't gonna put his business in the street and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't really watch him no more. I just watch tech, because tech is the real deal. The tech separated from him. But anyway, he was selling these boxes, these dead stock vintage boxes of vintage t-shirts and stuff like that. And I wanted to buy a box of the vintage t-shirts so I could sell them through my store on eBay or whatever. But they had people I was asking questions about, and I guess this bot or a fake person or something like that was posing as Chris, sent me their phone number, and I thought it was him replying to me, and I contacted him, but they must have said something that made me think it was fishy, and I knew the way to contact Chris directly is through email, so I ended up contacting Chris directly through email, letting him know I wanted to buy the shirts and seeing if that was him that was contacting me through text. And he said it wasn't. Thank God I asked him, because I would have been out $1,200. I think this vintage box was $1,200 or $1,000. That's why I titled the video "How to Avoid Losing Thousands of Dollars or Being Scammed Out of Thousands of Dollars." Because I nearly got scammed out of $1,200. Man, I think this was like 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. That would have been jack. I would have been sick. Now 100, it ain't that bad. 200, I was kind of salty about that, but 1,200, man, I would have been sick. I would have been sick for real. But luckily it didn't happen. I ended up buying the shirts directly from Chris, and he sent them to me, and it was all good. You know what I'm saying? So that's something you gotta look out for when you contacting and commenting under these YouTube resellers and stuff like that. A lot of times they have bots and people that's trying to act like they're them and scam you. So don't fall for it. See if they have a place where you can contact them directly, maybe on their direct website or their Patreon or whatever, and contact them to do business through there. Do not do business through the YouTube comment section. Please don't, because they're going to take your money. But let's get these likes up, man. Let's get these likes up. All right, so that's that. Let me make sure I'm not leaving nothing out. All right, that's that. So we done with that. Luckily, I contacted them directly, and that was that transition. I am to the end of the content. So now we're going to interact with y'all and see. Thank y'all for the hearts. Now we're going to interact with y'all and see what y'all have had to say. I'm going to go back up to the top and see what I can comment on and all that. This way we kind of freestyle it, and see if you have any. Also, man, make sure you put scams you know about, or if you've been scammed before, put that in the comments so we can share with everybody, so that this can benefit people all over the world, so they don't get scammed by these scammers out here that's trying to scam off our hard-earned money. Put hard-earned money. Put your scams that you've dealt with in the comment section, so that we can talk about them here tonight. Let's see. Like, comment. Oh yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Like I said, I come on with a different topic every Sunday night. If I'm not on a plane, 9 Eastern Standard Time if I'm in Atlanta, 9 Central Standard Time if I'm in the central area of the state. I be in Houston a lot because I'm from Houston originally. So that's why I say that. If I'm on the West Coast, I don't even fool with it, because that's three hours difference, and it's going to be all off of me, all off of y'all. So we just going to stick with Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. on Sundays, Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. on Sundays. All right, let's see here. All right, I read that one already. Go ahead and moderator. My wife said that we did that. I read that. Okay, I see it. Come on in and tell us if you ever been scammed. Okay. I've had people that Mama Pico said, hey, Mama Pico. Hey, Tamara, he gonna see y'all comment soon and be surprised. I am surprised. I am surprised that y'all joined tonight. Thank y'all for joining tonight. My wife said scammers need to be ashamed of themselves. Definitely. Mama Pico said, Tamara, this is true. Tamara said, when she did the praise hands to that, definitely. Mama Pico said, we can't fall for scams. Mama Pico is my mother-in-law, y'all. So I'm calling her Mama Pico. Because when I remember when I first came to visit my wife or whatever, it was a cousin over there, and he had a real Atlanta accent for real, and he called her Mama Pico, and I thought that was so cool. I really liked it. I really liked when he called her Mama Pico, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna call her, because I like that. I like they got a nice ring to it, Mama Pico. It may sound suspect, full body slave. Yeah, it was suspect, definitely. And I think I told you about it. Mama Pico say, wow, it's a lot of sick people out there, definitely. Oh, what's up, Joseph? My frat brother, Joseph. Shout out to KK Psi Kappa Psi National Red Band Fraternity. My frat brother, Joseph. I went to PV, went to TSU, but we tight. He says, what's good, bro Ham? Just tuned in. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Tidy Touch University. Oh, that's my brother-in-law. Thank you for coming through. He said, have you ever tried to report the scammers or file a report? Yeah, I did report the one in Las Vegas. I did report that one. Well, when in Las Vegas, it was on Instagram. I filed a report with the FBI for the online scams division, but they didn't do anything about it. The most recent one with TikTok, I couldn't file anything with them because I didn't have enough information with that and I had sent the money through Apple Pay, and there's no way to like track it when it goes through Apple Pay and that kind of stuff. And Joe said, thank you for tuning in. Definitely, thank you for tuning in. Hi, Tidy Touch University. That's what Tamara said. Mama Pico said, hi, Tidy Touch. Tidy Touch, wait, my brother-in-law waving. Tamara said, if you've been scammed on the internet, comment here what happened. Mama Pico said, yes, it was several years ago with some women vitamins. Oh, man. What happened with that, with the vitamins? Tamara said, wow, a shame. Tidy Touch said, we all fell for the Telegram money blessing scam. Sure did. Some of y'all made money though. I didn't talk about that one. Yeah, I got scammed with them, but some of them made money. Some people did make money with that, but then it got to a certain point with that blessing money Telegram scam where it was, I guess it was so big till they couldn't pay out all the people. So they just got out of it and stopped doing it. I kind of forget exactly how that, but there was a scam going on, that Telegram. How many other people dealt with that Telegram money blessing scam? I didn't get my money from it, but they was making money. Everybody made money but me. I got in too late. I got in too late. But I ain't falling for stuff like that no more. Tidy Touch said yes. Hello, yeah, that was years ago. Tidy Touch, yes, that was the biggest scam during the pandemic. Yep. Mama Pico, Tamara said yes to her mom. Mama Pico said LOL, smiley faces. Letterhead. My wife said letterhead. Oh, that's what I was trying to say was letterhead right there. Pico said, this is true. Don't fall for the scam. Tamara said, glad you didn't fall for that job. I would have been sick too. Oh yeah, we down to the comment about the Chris, the $1,200. Yeah, but I got my box of shirts. You know, my dead stock shirts and my vintage shirts and all that, and it was all good. But man, that would have, ooh boy, that would have hurt. It would have hurt. Glad Lady said, hey, Fret. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Just logged in. Glad Lady. I wonder who's Glad Lady. Thank you for joining. We came down to the end of the live where I'm reading all the comments that people put in throughout and all that good stuff. Mama Pico said, hey. Glad Lady said, have to keep helping parents because people will try them too. Yeah, definitely. We definitely got to help the parents know about the different scams, and the grandparents and the great-grandparents, if you're blessed to still have them with you, know about the different scams that these people trying out here. A lot of people, they making a lot of money off scamming people. Thousands of dollars, millions off scamming people, and it's a shame, man. Hi, Glad Lady. Mama Pico said, yes, the insurance one is a scam. Yeah, definitely. They tried to, they trying to get people down YouTube all the time. Glad Lady said, hello, Tamara and Tay. Glad Lady, I don't know you by your YouTube name, but we probably do know each other. TBS, I don't want to say names and guess the wrong name, but maybe you don't want to say what your name is. Tau Beta Sigma is the band sorority, for those of y'all who may not know that as well. But yeah, thank you. Definitely thank you for joining. Definitely appreciate you joining tonight. So I'll come down to the bottom of the comments. If there are no more comments, I want to tell y'all when the next live will be. Like I've stated, my fiance dad was scammed and he had money taken out of his bank account. Yeah, well, what was the scam? What was the scam exactly? We've heard about those types of scams where they take the money out the bank account. What were they trying to pose as or trying to do with that one? He was elderly. Yeah, they definitely prey on the elderly people all the time. That's a shame that they do that, miss. But we gonna expose them. We gonna expose them so they can't do that. So they can't be taking people money no more, especially not the elderly people. We don't want that happening. My next live will be next Sunday. I should be in town at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They called him on the phone and told him he needs to move the money someplace. Glad Lady. Yeah, that's a common one that they do. I've heard about that one before. I remember Granddad getting scammed. I remember Granddad getting scammed too. They took money out of his account too. Yeah, he was in his 80s. And I didn't want to share that one. I wanted to let y'all share that one. That's why I didn't say it. But in the back of my mind, it was there the whole time, especially when I was talking about the elderly getting scammed. it was a Social Security scam. Yeah, they all do that. If they contacting you and you didn't contact them first, it's a scam. It's a scam. Always. That's why whenever they call me about it, I just hang up in their face. I don't even play with it. You calling me, da da da. Nah, I didn't contact you about that. So no, you ain't about to get no information out of me. Hanging up in your face. Just like when people show up at my door, well, this is a little different. But when people show up at my door unannounced, I don't open the door. I don't even come to the door at all. I might look and see who they are, but I stay right where I'm at. Cause you didn't announce yourself. You know, I didn't know you was coming. I feel like that with the phone too. You know, it may not be a scam when they come to the house, it may be a scam. That's just another way to say a safety tip. So now the bank has to contact us when a huge amount is taken out, and they put a stop to it right then and there. Yeah. It can be kind of irritating when the bank do stuff like that, but it's good that they do stuff like that. Banks will do that, and credit card companies will do that when it's an amount they don't recognize, or if you're paying an institution or something that you don't regularly pay. A lot of times they will contact you first, and they'll stop it just to make sure. So that's good that they do that and stay on top of that stuff. Yeah, what I got coming out, we've come down to the end. You know what I'm saying? I thank y'all for rocking with me tonight. Thank y'all for coming in. What we're gonna talk about, I love it. They give you an alert. Yeah, definitely. Yep, they give you that alert. We've come down to the end. I'm going to let y'all know what I got coming up. I am working on my album. Currently, I'm gathering beats for my solo album. It's going pretty well, linking up with some nice producers that I know previously. The ones that I didn't contact directly, I'm kind of giving them the same. Well, no, I ain't dealing with none I didn't contact directly, honestly. But I've been getting some pretty nice tracks that I'm accumulating. I got about 8. I got to get 12 more, and then I'll start writing and all that good stuff. Y'all see stuff coming out. I got 2 more videos in my video series that's going to come out, those social media type videos where I'm doing like remakes and stuff like that. So those will be coming out. These 2 shouldn't be as comedic as some of the other ones were, but I'm going to still be spitting on them. You know, I'm still going to be spitting them bars. So look out for those probably in August and in August and September. That's when the last 2 are gonna come out. Then you'll start seeing album stuff coming out with that. I got a game show I'm gonna be on. A few weeks back, I told y'all I was under consideration for a game show that they're filming in Atlanta. So I will be on that game show. It's filming beginning of August, but I'm not sure when it's gonna air. But when it's gonna air, I'll definitely give y'all the information about that, so y'all can check it out. Gotta make sure I'm studying for it on a regular basis as well, so I can win that $10,000. Have you contacted Kaylin in Atlanta for beats? No, I don't know Kaylin. KK Side from Morehouse. Okay, cool. Yeah, send me their information. My email is in my. If you click on my channel, my email is right there. If you send me their information, I'll definitely contact them. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely good to keep it in the KK Sign Top Beta Sigma fam too, with the beats and all that. So yo, give me their information. Hit me up on email or on my social media. I'm Rivka777 on Instagram, Rivka777 on TikTok. All that kind of stuff. Twitter, I'm at Rivka, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll contact them and check them out, see what they got for me. I'm looking for that church trap sound. That's what I'm looking for on this. Like, gotta have that organ, well, possibly organ or the or like choir sounds and stuff like that. Some that remind you of church, but some that got that hip hop flavor and that trap flavor as well. That's what I'm looking for on this Selah album. That's gonna be the name of the album. So those are things I got coming up. Tam, am I forgetting anything to mention? Am I forgetting anything that I got coming up, entertainment industry wise, besides the music? Besides the music I got. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. That's just the 2 main things. 3, those videos coming out that I'm working on, social media videos. Be on the lookout for those. My album I'm working on, which usually take me about a year to do album. I will put out some singles and stuff like that between now and then. And the game show that I'm gonna be on soon. Thank you. Is there anything else? If not, then I'm going to go ahead and bid y'all good night. Until next time, remember, only what you do for Christ will last, and righteousness and faith increase abundantly. Next week's live will be about how to become a paid actor on television and film. That's what I'll be giving information on next week. How to become a paid actor in television and film. A lot of people be wondering how they can do that because it's so magical. And it's not, I'm not going to say it's simple, but it's more simple than you think. You just got to be guided in the right direction. So I'm going to share some of that information with y'all on next week when we get on live. Remember, only what you do for Christ will last, and the righteous in faith increase abundantly. Thank you to everybody that joined tonight. Okay, make sure you join next week so I can get Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I go live. Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Y'all be blessed. Thank y'all for joining.